Painful memories emerged after the Hong Kong model was murdered and dismembered. For Hong Kongers, the case evokes painful memories of previous murders and dismemberment in the city, many targeting young women, most by men. Hong Kong postcards often feature a splendid skyscraper against a backdrop of verdant mountains, dim sum restaurants and investment bankers in suits. However, in recent weeks, the International Financial Center has once again made headlines for a dark case, the death of famous model Abby Choi. The victim was dismembered, the weapons were found in a rental apartment last month that included electric housing and a meat cutter. The 28-year-old woman's death not only shocked a city that is regularly ranked the safest in the world, but also attracted many world media with its macabre details, according to CNN. For Hong Kongers, the incident also brings back painful memories of previous murders and dismemberment in the city, many targeting young women and most perpetrated by men. Many people still cannot forget the murder associated with the name Hello Kitty in 1999, in which Fan Man-yi, 23, was kidnapped and brutally tortured by gang elements a month ago. Upon death and dismemberment, the last nanny's skull was found sewn inside a luxury Hello Kitty doll. A taxi driver murdered 4 women, the youngest of whom was 17 years old, and stored the body parts in jars before being arrested in 1982. In 2008, 16-year-old Wong Ka-mui was strangled and dismembered. The victim's remains were flushed down the toilet. And in 2013, the couple Glory Chow and Moon Soo were murdered and dismembered by their 28-year-old son. The crime was described by the judge as heinous and absolutely appalling. A series of headlines follow each murder. However, despite the media attention, experts point out that such cases are rare in Hong Kong, a city with an extremely low violent crime rate for a population of 7.4 million people. Hong Kong sees only a few dozen murders a year, compared with several hundred in New York. And the island recorded just 77 robberies last year, compared with more than 17,000 in New York and 24,000 in London. So why does every murder in Hong Kong generate such explosive attention? Experts say their rarity, combined with the brutality of the incident, is a factor. However, there may be another element. What's buried beneath all the gritty details of death is an exceptional insight into life in one of the world's most densely populated cities. Gender. There's no place to hide a body. Roderick Broadhurst, Professor Emeritus of Criminology at the Australian National University, formerly based in Hong Kong, where he founded the Hong Kong Criminology Centre, estimates there have been more than a dozen dismembered bodies in the city in the past year. The past 50 years. Philip Be, a retired forensic pathologist who used to work with the Hong Kong police, gives a slightly lower estimate, saying he can remember fewer than 10 such cases in his life. His 40-year career. Both experts emphasized that Hong Kong is still very safe and these numbers are relatively low. In fact, Hong Kong's reputation for safety is also reflected in the fact that a few murders when they happened have caused great shock to the city, Professor Broadhurst said. But both also say the gruesome nature of the previous cases, especially the dismemberment, reflects the realities of life in Hong Kong. Simply put, it's much harder to hide a body in a cramped city where micro-apartments and some of the world's most densely populated neighborhoods exist. Be said if someone tried to dispose of a body in remote areas of Australia, Canada, or the US, there was a great chance of success because of the large space and open terrain. Not so in Hong Kong. There have been people who have tried to get rid of such crimes here but failed, Be pointed out. Eyes are everywhere. A Hong Kong murderer is likely to live within a few feet of dozens of people who might find them trying to dispose of the body. Since then, some criminals have dismembered the victim's body for disposal. Morning. Most people live in overlapping apartment blocks. We don't have people living in houses with large gardens that can go out and dig holes and bury bodies, Bess said. A person here is never alone, always has neighbors above, below, and beside. Anything out of the ordinary will attract someone's attention. Professor Broadhurst concurs, pointing out that in apartment buildings, killers may have to enter the common elevators of more than 100 households to get out. Several previous cases involved murderers cooking body parts. Such details terrify the public, possibly due in part to unfounded rumors surrounding cases such as the 1985 dumpling murder in the neighboring city of Macau. In this case, a man killed a family of 10, including the owner of a restaurant, and rumors, and even a movie inspired by it, have swirled that the killer used the victims to make dumplings and sell them. However, the reason may be much less thrilling in most cases, Mr. Bess said. In Hong Kong's humid, subtropical climate, the smell of corpses quickly attracts attention, he said, which is why some murderers may try to get rid of the smell by cooking dishes. Part. Few cars or freezers. As for why murderers don't use methods commonly found in other places like keeping bodies in freezers, dumping them in the water late at night, Hong Kong's dense density poses a problem. In the notoriously expensive housing market, apartments are often too small and cramped for large furniture or kitchen appliances. Very few individuals have large refrigerators at home. Even less have freezers. You can't even keep the body even if you want to, Bess said. He adds that cars are similarly scarce, and as a result, discreetly transporting bodies is difficult. Few residents have cars because buildings with parking are often expensive. In 2019, a parking space sold for close to $1 million, and the city does have a convenient public transport system anyway. Beneficial and effective. These combined factors may account for many different cases over the years where murderers have used bizarre methods to dispose of victims' bodies, such as a woman murdered by her husband in 2018 and her body was kept in a suitcase, or the body of a 28-year-old man was found in a cement block in 2016. We live in a place where, basically, if you've killed someone, the next pressing question is, what are you going to do with the body? Mr. Beck concluded.